As a follow-up to our crimping video, we're going to do a short video on soldering wires, particularly small wires like these, how to attach it to a terminal or a switch that has solder connectors, solder on terminals, and then how to do a splice, solder splice. So a couple of safety tips. Pay attention because the end of the soldering iron gets like to 1,000 degrees, so be careful where you put it. That's why I like to use this stand that has this ring for it. So I'll leave a link in the description for this and then this chisel tip soldering iron. And the second safety thing is that if you accidentally put too much solder on your connection, the solder can actually drip off the bottom. So be careful of that and make sure you're working over something that's fireproof or fire resistant. You don't want to be working over paper or sandals or something like that. So to solder small wires to a switch like this, or to do a splice, you don't really need much. You need a decent set of wire strippers, soldering iron. This one's a 50 watt with a chisel tip, which is good for doing wires like these or switches. Not so good for electronics. This is good for doing larger wires. Soldering iron for electronics would have like a needle tip on it, and that could work, but it doesn't work as well as something like this. We also have some solder. This is silver solder and with rosin core. You need something with rosin core because the flux, the rosin, will clean the connection before the solder melts, and that's very important. Otherwise, you will get a poor bond between the two metals. Then I have a little bit of heat shrink and a lighter to cover up the connections when we're done. And this is like an optional thing. This is a stand with some clips on it to help hold your workpiece. But if you don't have that, you can get somebody to help you. So first you need to strip the wires back, and you're going to need to strip back quite a bit more insulation than you would if you're doing a connector. So we'll strip back here almost 3/4 of an inch to 7/8 of an inch of insulation. You want to give it a nice twist. We'll start with the switch. So we got the switch here. See how it has 2 holes, one in each terminal. So what we'll do, stick the wire through about halfway, and bend it back on itself like that, and give it a twist. So you see how that wire is on there tight? You want it to be pretty tight. You don't want it loose or flopping around. So this does 2 things. It holds your workpiece, and it also acts as a heat sink to pull heat from the soldering iron into the clip and not into the switch. Because if you take too long to solder the switch, you will melt the insides of the contacts and your switch won't work anymore. So you need to do this pretty quickly. Just put a little bit of solder on it just so it's shiny. And what I like to do, get comfortable, find somewhere to rest your hand. Just hold the soldering iron against the wire, and then occasionally just tap it. Tap the wire and connector with your solder. You can see how it's melting and going in now. So we'll add a little bit of solder, and that's it. It's done. Doesn't take very long. You want to do this quickly. If you take too long, you'll melt the inside of the contacts. This looks pretty good, but right here I got a little bit too much solder on it. So we'll take our iron, just kind of smooth that out real quick. So now to do the splice, we'll do the same thing. Strip off about 3/4 of an inch. Give it a small twist, and we'll split. Do the same thing to the other wire. So now we have our 2 wires. And what you want to do is kind of go halfway between, cross them, and then twist them in opposite directions. So I'm twisting one way with my left hand and one way with my right hand. Doesn't matter which way you do it, you just have to be opposite directions. And you can make that nice and tight. Keep twisting it until it gets nice and small. So you see how the wire is nice and compact and pretty tight with each other, and actually it's pretty strong as it is right now. And get the flat edge of your chisel tip against the flat edge of the wire, and just kind of hold it there for a few seconds, occasionally checking with your solder to see when it's up to temperature. And when it gets up to temperature, you'll see it wick in. And because you got pretty big wires, this may take a second or two much faster than if you're working on the switch. There you go. See how it's wicking in? Feed it some solder. And you know you got a good solder bond when you can kind of see the grooves between the wires fill in with the solder. Here's the finished connection. Good solder fill all the way around. And we did not melt the wires too badly. So this is a pretty good soldered connection. Now to protect these connections, because you're not using a terminal or a connector that would have insulation on it, you're going to have to put something over it. You can use tape, but I don't really like to use that because it's not very waterproof. And it looks a little hack in my opinion. So what I like to use is some heat shrink. And normally you would stick this on before you solder the connections. We'll do that. We'll center that over the connection. A lighter. You can also use a heat gun, but comes down. Now this cinch heat shrink has adhesive in the inside to help glue it in place. You can kind of see a little bit of that sticking out the ends, and that's when you know it's fully shrink down. And this is a nice waterproof connection that won't be coming apart anytime soon. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Otherwise, please hit the subscribe button up there.